Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tarana, your host for the day. Welcome you to NASCAR AI Parley. Today is all about evangelizing, celebrating, and accelerating the exponential AI adoption across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, our theme is from potential to maximizing impact, which is exactly what you fine leaders have done using the potent futuristic weapon that is AI and transformed for better industries, lives, and India's growth. Today, we are gathered to applaud you, our dear viewers. And of course, today would not have been possible without our partners Microsoft, Capgemini, EXL, EY, IIT Madras. A big round of applause to all our amazing partners. Futuristic leaders, do not put a stop to your applause because we bring to you none other than Ms. Devjani Ghosh, President, NASCOM. Quick start today's session. Ms. Ghosh, over to you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Nikita,
you.
and wonderful being here today. So first of all, Mr. Kant, CEO Niti Aayog, Ms. Anna Roy, Senior Advisor Niti Aayog, and all my dear friends. I mean, a very good morning to you, a very good evening, wherever you are. And it is just so wonderful for all of us to get together for this extremely special moment, as I call it. Just a look back at the rearview mirror. It was in 2018 when Niti Aayog led the massive effort across industry, government, academia to come out with the compelling national AI strategy for India. And what a fantastic journey it has been since then, as we continue to see AI rapidly weave itself into all aspects of business, entertainment, communication, etc., etc. And there's also something very special about the time that we are living in. The UN has rightly called it the decade of action. As we are running out of time to solve for the big problems that's challenging all of us. At NASCOM, we have called the decade of action the decade, as we strongly believe that we can only achieve our aspiration or our goals of creating a better and safer planet for all of us if we humans learn how to unlock the true potential of technology like never before. To do that, we have to shift the focus from technology potential to actual application. We have to get obsessive as a country about putting technology to work, about creating sustainable and inclusive impact. I'm thrilled to welcome all of you to NASCOM's AI Parley, where we shift the focus on AI to adoption and impact. In India's enterprise sector, especially with focus on India's enterprise sector. And they say impact makes sense only when you can measure it. If we can start measuring sustainable impact, there is no reason why AI adoption and innovation will not see a multifold growth in India. In today's event titled Maximizing Potential to Impact, we are excited, very excited, to launch the first ever NASCOM AI Adoption Index for India, which is an initiative by NASCOM to assess the progress of various industry sectors in terms of their AI adoption. In this initial edition, we have focused on BFSI, healthcare, retail and industrial products, and automotive industry. These sectors combined contribute nearly around 70% of the 500 billion value that AI and data can unlock for India. So these sectors alone represent around 350 billion. As AI becomes more and more pervasive, it has become tremendously important to assess the level of sectoral adoption and evaluate the levers that's influencing it, thereby support the upward trajectory. The main objective of the initiative is to draw out the insights which will enable industry executives and policymakers to plan relevant interventions that is needed to leverage AI to its fullest potential for the country. And I have to say that I cannot be happier today than to have here two people who, in my mind, have absolutely architected India's AI strategy from the front, Mr. Kant and Ms. Roy. And I'm just thrilled that they agreed to join us to launch the AI Adoption Index, because this all started from the spark that they lit in 2018 about the national AI strategy in India and what AI meant for India. Today's event, apart from the launch of AI Adoption Index, will also announce the NASSCOM AI Game Changers. And I know there's a lot of you out there waiting to see the results. This is the second year of the Game Changers Award. And it is so heartening to see that we have received more than 350 applications that demonstrated very compelling use cases of AI across sectors and areas of societal impact that India is so well poised to scale. The AI Research Award category, which we introduced this year, will recognize innovation in AI research, and participation from academia, startups, enterprise, government has just been so encouraging, and it is such a brilliant indicator of how AI Game Changers is seen in the industry, and also of the evolution of the adoption journey that we are seeing in India. And I'm certain that this program will prove to be the barometer of AI progress in the country. Last but not the least, when we focus on adoption and index impact, I do want to reinforce the importance of focusing on governance and ethical use of AI from start, not an afterthought. And this is an area that needs tremendous focus. NASSCOM is working with various stakeholders to build out specific initiatives that focuses on driving responsible build and use of technology, including AI. And we will share our findings and our learnings very soon. But I think this has to become center stage when we are talking about adoption and index. So with that, thank you very much to each and every one of you for joining us today. And on behalf of Team NASSCOM, we really hope you enjoy reading the AI Adoption Index, the Game Changers Compendium that will be launched later. And all of these learnings can create a sort of community of shared knowledge that will significantly accelerate or catalyze our journey towards becoming AI nation. So with that, thank you once again, and a very warm welcome to both Mr. Kant and Ms. Roy. Thank you. Back to you, Nikita.
What an absolute pleasure to have you with us, Ms. Ghosh. Leaders, you were one of the earliest adopters of AI in India and have risen to its highest index. And we're sure you're super curious to know the key findings of the AI Adoption Index report, and to share exactly that and his knowledge with you, we bring Mr. Vijay Shankar, Leader Automation and Artificial Intelligence, EY India. Mr. Shankar, over to you.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Nikita. Thanks for the introduction. And I'm super excited to be here as a part of the launch. So, hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining in for this exciting AI Parley event. My name is Vijay Shankar, as what Nikita introduced as well. So, I'm delighted to introduce our latest initiative, First in India AI Adoption Index. This NASSCOM study is a research partnership along with EY, supported by Microsoft, EXL, Capgemini, and so on. This version of the 1.0 index is of tracking of AI progress across Indian enterprises, and Devjani kind of talked about it in our end well. Artificial intelligence or AI will power India's decade and assist in realizing a multitude of ambitions. A study prior to the pandemic put the value of AI, the value addition of adoption AI to about 500 billion by 2026. AI is transformative in nature as compared to all previous technologies that we have seen. And businesses are beginning to see its potential. Nearly 60 to 70% of the 500 billion ambition is likely to be realized by just four sectors: BFSI, CPG retail, healthcare, and industrial automotive. In order to visualize this transformation, it becomes important to measure the AI adoption continually. With this aim, NASSCOM constructed this AI adoption index framework under 6 dimensions, a comprehensive framework that assesses performance of enterprise of AI performance of enterprises across AI strategy, investments, AI talent, implementation of AI projects, data and tech strategy, and enabling AI innovation, and quite importantly, AI ethics, governance, and audit mechanism. In this study, we surveyed over 350 enterprises across different size segments in the 4 sectors that we talked about. We also interviewed a select set of senior leadership across these companies. We crafted a index calculation model, a multi-factor weighted assessment model to arrive at the maturity scores on a 4-point scale, with various stages of maturity defining how AI journey in India progresses. These stages, how it's been categorized, starts with explorer. Companies who have no formal strategy, budgets or enterprise objectives to AI, and then further on, moving to enthusiasts, expert, and most mature, what we call as evangelist. The study also offers an in-depth analysis of AI adoption across these 6 dimensions. It further deep dives into various sectorial views as well, which for me was very, very interesting. The findings of the study is eye-opening. Indicate that while India's move to establish to become the undisputed importance in national building, especially with the national AI strategy, we've also seen a 3x jump of AI adoption from 2020. While a lot has been done, a lot more needs to be accomplished to move the maturity path and build AI leadership. There are certain impediments, such as lack of structured and continual approach to measure AI project outcomes, that are hindering the scaling of AI programs rapidly. The study offers a 5-point agenda to make AI real and its adoption across India a lot more mature to realize the 500 billion promise. We hope that this index study in particular, will enable organizations to understand and leverage the full potential of AI and drive large-scale innovation and digital transformation. The insights from the study will also help service providers to understand gaps and build new capabilities and solutions that will deliver outsized business outcomes across the sector. This first version of the study, we've aimed to establish a measurable metrics to estimate resources that are required to take on new challenges in AI advancement, while shaping the culture to innovatively and responsibly harness the value of AI for India. This study will be shortly available on the NASSCOM website, nasscom.in/publications, and NASSCOM's community site, community.nasscom.in. I sincerely hope that you enjoy reading this as much as we have enjoyed bringing this interesting study to you. Thank you so much for participating in the event, and look forward to discussing this further with you all. Thank you.
Fantastic section, Mr. Shankar. Thank you so very much for these lovely insights, and what a pleasure to have you with us. And speaking of that, I mean, when you have leaders like Mr. Vijay and Ms. Devjani Ghosh, I mean, we have to make the most of it, ladies and gentlemen. So, how about we get back Ms. Ghosh again?
Now, first of all, I think there are a lot of questions on the chat about the presentation and where do you get the report. So the report will be put up on the NASSCOM website. Maybe we can put the link in the chat for everyone, Sangeeta or whoever is there. So you please do go and download. This is a labor of love. And I have to, in fact, this morning I was sharing with Sangeeta, I came upon some old pictures from 2018 where Anna Roy had come to a NASSCOM meeting, and NASSCOM and Anna had signed, we had signed an MOU to say how we can work to make the AI strategy a reality for the industry? How do we drive adoption? So it's amazing that 2022, we are here today launching the AI Adoption Index. Which shows such strong adoption across all these core sectors, and it's just, one of the reason I say please read this is because it's not just understanding what has worked, but it's also understanding some of the key learnings, what not to repeat, what mistakes not to make. And if this can help anyone, just take 2 or 3 steps forward towards their AI journey, I think our job is done. What this report looks at is what has adoption been like across the sectors that I talked about.
Yes.
What has worked, what hasn't worked, and what can be done better. So that's what the report looks like at, and what are the learnings out of it. I would just like to say that as an industry, I think we have to have a more holistic approach towards what are the problems we want to solve. AI is not the panacea for every problem. What are the problems that we want to solve? I mean, I think if we can identify, and this is especially to those companies that are just starting off on your journey, if you can identify the problem and identify the problem really well, 50% of the battle is won. So identification of the problem is extremely important. Identification of the outcomes is extremely important, and you'll see much more of that in the report. But it's very important for you to know what do you want out of this journey. It can't be just about you started using AI. What do you want AI to do? What problems do you want it to solve? What is the desired outcome? Do you have the talent and the other resources? That becomes the next big question, because talent, technology, including artificial intelligence, is getting democratized. Everyone will have equal access. What is important is, do you have the right talent that will build your competitive advantage? And that becomes the biggest challenge of our times. But what are you doing to grow the talent in-house as well as externally? I think is something that has to be thought through. Are you assessing, are you going back and looking at what have you done right? Because that's one thing I find we often miss out on. We're just not focused enough on assessment of what we have done. So I think that becomes extremely important. Are we going back and are we assessing our progress regularly, correcting what is not working? So I think all of these things have to come together. And last but not the least, this has to be a CEO priority. This is not something that your IT department can deploy. This has to be a business priority and a strategic business priority, which has to be owned by the CEO and the CXOs. So it takes a big mind shift, change in mindset, frankly, because when you're on this journey of digital transformation, there is no guarantee that everything you do will work. You are going to make mistakes. You have to ensure you're agile enough to learn from those mistakes, and you're resilient enough to move forward with the learnings. So, yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting journey for all of us.
Ghosh ma'am, I mean, you've spoken like a true leader, right? And everything that you've said just doesn't apply to AI. I can very well see all of us using that in our real lives as well. I mean, what a fantastic perspective to what is it that you're doing. What solutions, right? What is the problem that you're solving? Spoken like a true leader. Thank you so much for your time, Ghosh ma'am. Yet again, thank you so much. What a pleasure. And leaders, now we bring to you from the super esteemed Niti Ayog, we have with us, with a big round of applause, Miss Anna Roy, Senior Advisor, Niti Ayog. Ma'am, we would request you to kindly come on up. And yes, we've got your patrons waiting to listen to you. Stage is all yours, Roy, ma'am.
Devjani, Anna, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to launch the NASSCOM AI Adoption Index that tracks India's enterprise progress along 4 key sectors of the economy. And as an annual exercise, the sectors will be expanded to enhance the coverage. It is important for India to look at artificial intelligence adoption across all parameters of impact, investment, data and technology, ethics, and governance. And the report provides inputs on these key dimensions along with specific sectoral focus. I would like to congratulate the NASSCOM team led by Debjani for undertaking this very important initiative. Artificial intelligence for India is about augmentation and enabling both efficiencies and innovation. If you look at sectors like fintech, wherein Indian startups are leading, usage of AI is playing a very key role in risk management, enabling access to lending for underserved communities, conversational AI, multilingual solutions for better customer experience. The government and public sector is leveraging AI at multiple levels, from determining quality of roads and potholes management using AI in rural areas, facial recognition for pensioners who are unable to physically visit banks, AI for drug risk discovery research, crime management, school attendance, and there are a number of use cases that are already in operation in everyday life. Many of our startups which have become unicorn are all excelling because of their use of artificial intelligence. The importance and relevance of artificial intelligence cannot be overstated, especially given how its use is becoming ubiquitous. And India has emerged as a global startup hub with a growing number of unicorns and sunicorns which are heavily involved in the tech and AI space. AI startups in India are maturing, and in segments like conversational AI, we are seeing innovative solutions emerging that blend the diversity of Indian languages. Funding for AI startups is also increasing. The long term success of the decade and India's competitiveness would intricately be tied to our proficiency at adopting and leveraging AI at large scale, especially in the enterprise context. An earlier study had estimated that AI would be adding about US $957 billion to India's economy by 2035. We presently need to focus on how we can actually capitalize upon the potential and promise of AI to derive tangible economic value. As a result, now more than ever, it's become important to measure and understand both the technological maturity and uptake in enterprises. This study captures the pulse and contextualizes it in the Indian setting to tell us where we presently are in the grand scheme of things. This study builds upon some of the earlier efforts to understand and contextualize the Indian AI ecosystem. Rather early on, we understood the relevance and importance of artificial intelligence and worked towards development of a national strategy. Niti Aayog came out with an artificial intelligence strategy in the summer of 2018, and India became one of the first countries to talk about the use of artificial intelligence to address inclusion and social empowerment challenges. It was the first to advocate for the AI for all positioning. The strategy identified priority areas for the application of artificial intelligence, such as healthcare, agriculture, education, and smart mobility, where the impact of the application of artificial intelligence technology would be the greatest. The strategy identified key challenges which still remain very pertinent. Research and development. It's important to catch up with the world in terms of core and applied research. In terms of high quality citable research, we are still trailing China and USA. Computing infrastructure. Our supercomputing capabilities must be in the same league as the USA or China. We have recently made some progress on this front through the National Supercomputing Mission. The latest supercomputer named Param Pravega has been installed at IISc, Indian Institute of Social Statistics, in January in 2022. Privacy and data security. The promise of artificial intelligence presents a wealth of opportunities. There are key privacy, data security, and ethical considerations that have to be accounted for. Responsible management of artificial intelligence in India is key to leveraging benefits of artificial intelligence while minimizing the risks. And understanding these challenges, the National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence highlighted interventions that will enable us to become a global leader. Research and infrastructure. We have to incentivize both fundamental and applied AI research through the setting up of centers for research excellence in artificial intelligence and international centers for transformational artificial intelligence. We need to democratize access to key infrastructure requirements, and actually we had envisaged detailing the approach. We had released a paper in January 2020. The important thing is human capital, and to maximize the effective leveraging of AI tools, we must cultivate and harness our biggest asset, human capital. And this must be done through appropriate skilling of both students and the present workforce. For the existing workforce, this would require reskilling. And the new education policy 2020 will be a great enabler with its emphasis on skills. In the larger ecosystem, there is a progress on the recommendations that have been highlighted in the national strategy. The Stanford AI Index rated India as number 6 based on the methodology of the Global AI Vibrancy Tool. That is a phenomenal achievement, and India's talent and inclusion strategy played a key role for India to achieve this ranking. In this context of the specific AI Adoption Index report, the acceleration of AI adoption is its central focus. Enterprises are understanding the value of banking on AI to either drive growth or to innovate, driving the impetus to adopt. Consequently, investments are being made in either in-house development or plug-and-play solutions. The study interestingly notes that 60% of AI-led value additions is expected from a few sectors, namely consumer goods and retail, banking, financial services and insurance, energy and industrials, automotive, manufacturing, healthcare. It is encouraging to learn that a study notes that 67 billion is the expected immediate term effect on India's GDP linked to a unit rise in AI spending per total sales at the end user level. The study also notes that in the 4-stage maturity framework, having categories such as explorer, enthusiast, expert, and evangelist, India presently falls in the enthusiast category. This implies that we will have to work very hard. The study also estimates that 500 billion is the potential impact of AI adoption on India's GVA by 2026, and has to be emphasis on some of the strategic challenges and adoption impediments which have to be overcome, namely inability to objectively quantify the benefits of AI, low maturity of the external AI ecosystem, all the behavioral and cultural limitations. India today is well positioned to become a global leader in AI. There are several factors which are very unique to India, which can contribute to this. Firstly, data. The availability of data is central to the development of AI. India is one of the cheapest data rates in the world, and with the proliferation of cheaper smartphones and feature phones, more people are connected today in the history of than in the history of this country ever before. There are more than 825 million internet users, and we are adding an internet user every 3 seconds. In essence, India is a data-rich country. Secondly, public infrastructure. India's digitization efforts through Digital India such as Aadhaar, UPI, GST, and other public infrastructure has created an opportunity for AI to be leveraged to increase transparency and improve governance outcomes while ensuring that personal data and privacy is safeguarded. The public infrastructure is also being leveraged by the private sector and is driving up innovation and transformation. Thirdly, diversity. India is a very diverse country, home to more than 2,000 ethnic groups with 22 different scheduled languages, 122 major languages, and about 1,600 other languages spoken in India. Our vast geographical and cultural diversity presents unique developmental challenges in areas such as agriculture, healthcare, education, infrastructure, transportation. These challenges are representative of similar ones faced by other countries. Solving for these in India would allow for these solutions to be applied elsewhere. And then talent. India has the largest youth population that is skilled and eager to adopt AI. India houses the world's third largest startup ecosystem. It has premier institutions such as IITs and triple IITs, a robust digital infrastructure, millions of newly minted STEM graduates every year. We have the talent, we have the mindset for innovation, and now we have the data ecosystems that are necessary to build AI product. Bangalore presently ranks amongst the top five as a top global AI hotspot. India, ladies and gentlemen, is a diverse country in terms of geography, people, languages, and challenges. As data-rich country with its skilled human capital, India is well positioned to become a global leader in AI solutions and a global hub for talent. As a founding member of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, the country is already leading from the front as it champions the responsible use of AI for social good to realize a more inclusive society. With greater involvement and engagement from enterprises, adoption is likely to scale in coming years, and this penetration will greatly benefit the public at large. As enterprises invest deeply in AI development and as these programs mature, India will emerge as a leading global hub for AI development and application, a global AI tech garage for the world. Once again, my compliments to Devjani and the NASSCOM team for the launch of this very unique and this very vibrant and dynamic adoption index of artificial intelligence. Tracking India's sectoral progress on AI adoption is key and critical, and I'm truly delighted that NASSCOM has taken the lead to do this. Thank you very much. I'm truly delighted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kant, not just for that extremely inspiring address, but for being one of the strongest and most vocal champions of not just AI, but I think technology in this country. And Anna, I was just telling the audience about 2018, after you launched the strategy. If you remember, you flew down to Bangalore, and we had a meeting with all the Indian IT leaders and talked about how do we need to start the process towards adoption across different industries. And I actually found the pictures this morning of us signing that MOU to say we have to make adoption a priority. So feels tremendously special. And by the way, I think that's where we also named you the AI Lady of India. That was the meeting where the industry decided she is it. She is the person driving this. So it is tremendously special that the two of you are here today for launching this report. And I could request you to please hold up the report and make it official. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Kant. Thank you, Anna. And Mr. Kant, as you rightly said, I think there is so much work to be done ahead of us. And we look forward to partnering with you every step of the way. And of course, the industry and academia to achieve that collective shared dream that we have of making India the absolute AI capital for the world. Thank you so much for your support as always.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, from blessing us with the future, that is, of course, without a doubt, the AI Adoption Index report, to blessing us with his knowledge, experience, and journey, we at NASSCOM thank Mr. Amitabh Kant, CEO Niti Aayog, Ms. Anna Roy, Senior Advisor Niti Aayog, and of course, our Ms. Ghosh. Thank you, Mr. Kant, Ms. Roy, Ms. Ghosh. Leaders, a big round of applause for all our three mega leaders. What a privilege to witness this historic event. Ladies and gentlemen, we at NASSCOM have taken a pledge, an absolute oath. Hanisha says, truly a pleasure to be a part of the decade. We could not agree more, Hanisha. We at NASSCOM have taken a pledge to bring to you only and only the best in the industry, and we are doing just that. For our next segment, we have the industry giants here to brainstorm and take the industry by storm on AI adoption perspectives, the expert talk, In the first edition, the focus has been on BFSI, healthcare, retail CPG, and industrial and automotive. So without any further ado, starting with the highlights on AI adoption in healthcare sectors. It's an honor to now invite Dr. Rohini Srivatsa, National Technology Officer, Microsoft India, for an expert talk on AI adoption in healthcare. Over to you, Dr. Rohini.
AI has become even more critical in the post-COVID world for improved health outcomes. Technologies like AI will be foundational for providing accessible, affordable, and quality healthcare for 1 billion plus Indians. According to a NASSCOM report, the use of AI in improving healthcare systems can potentially generate $30 billion of economic value for India by 2025. Globally, the integration of AI in healthcare is already enabling anytime, anywhere care. Delivering quality services in a diverse market like India at scale and at affordable price is immensely complex, especially with a large underserved population, rising disease burden, and variability in quality of care across different public and private players. In such a scenario, AI can play a pivotal role in addressing the unique challenges across the healthcare value chain, enabling modernization of healthcare in India. The use cases for AI adoption in healthcare are many. From enabling virtual OPDs to AI-assisted chatbots that provide self-assisted care to inventory management in hospitals to timely epidemic prediction, the list is endless. A great example that I can think of here is Apollo's 24/7 virtual healthcare platform, which uses Azure AI to offer last mile healthcare service delivery across India. India's healthcare market has grown 3x from $110 billion in 2016 to $372 billion in 2022. AI will play a central role in accelerating growth in healthcare with the right tools, talent, and partners. Having the right data set will be important, as the availability of digitized data is the first step towards deploying AI-powered solutions. Organizations that have adopted AI are witnessing benefits that include operational efficiency, scale, expansion into new customer segments, and even an increase in their top line. With AI as the backbone, healthcare organizations can respond proactively rather than reactively to external events and headwinds like a global pandemic. From accurate diagnosis to monitoring of critical conditions, robotics-assisted surgery, drug discovery, virtual patient care, and administrative assistance, AI is set to have important ramifications across the entire healthcare value chain. Strong partnerships between the public and private sectors, industry, academia, and the government will be important to drive innovation with AI and solve some of the toughest challenges faced by the healthcare ecosystem.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Rohini. What a pleasure to have you with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, next we bring to you the highlights on AI adoption in BFSI sector.
And on that upbeat note, we'd like to call on our digital stage Mr. Gaurav, the Head of Advanced Digital Solutions at EXL, for an expert talk on AI adoption in BFSI. Over to you, Mr. Gaurav.
We are very proud and excited to partner with NASSCOM in the development and the launch of the AI Adoption Index. We think the index has key learnings for the BFSI sector to actually adopt and move up the value chain in terms of AI to deliver incremental value not only to their business but also better experiences to their customers. But why should the BFSI sector care about AI? There are three mega trends. One is the threat of disintermediation from large non-banking super apps who are leveraging their customer loyalty and customer relationships to offer financial services products and services on their platform. Two, it is global technology companies who are backward integrating into the BFSI space, using again their vast customer networks, their treasured troves of customer data, and their ability to scale AI and technology faster. In fact, in our conversations, many BFSI leaders have told us that in the future they see themselves as more AI and tech companies rather than a bank or an insurer. But the most important mega trend is the expectation of the customers who expect BFSI clients to give an experience which is similar to that of Netflix or at Amazon. And this is the big aspiration that BFSI companies need to go towards. So how can they do this? At EXL, we talk about moving to AI as your operating system. And this has got 7 levers. Number 1 is the adoption of cloud and an API-driven architecture. The cloud drives scalability, and API architecture breaks down internal silos and allows connection to an external ecosystem. For example, we at EXL helped a bank launch a BNPL product within 4 months by building an API-driven architecture that seamlessly allowed us to do KYC, onboarding, fraud, and servicing in a very seamless manner. 2, it is the use of AI to build data ingestion pipeline. What does this mean? There's a large amount of document, text, script, and dark data that lies in BFSI companies, which can be used for better decisions. Think about using bank statements to make better credit underwriting decisions, or using claims notes to reduce claims leakage or overpayment. Number 3, it's about really driving better customer experiences by orchestrating different customer journeys such that customers can interact on a channel of their choice at a time of their choice, where the interaction has all the historical information about what they had done, asked for before, and where the decision can be made at speed. Think about a credit limit upgrade within a matter of seconds, or where collections can be made empathetic and where customer assistance is the goal versus simple cure rates. Number 4, it's about, while AI can be powerful, it needs executive sponsorship to deliver outcomes. That is because AI delivery teams are cross-functional. They include architects, engineers, data scientists, program managers, operational SMEs. And these groups don't come together unless there is executive sponsorship. Number 5, it's about driving change management in the organization, especially in operations where AI is deployed. There is still a lot of skepticism, and that needs to be deliberately and programmatically removed for AI to be a success. Number 6, it's about ensuring that there is responsible AI being deployed. Responsible AI includes upstream removal of bias in the data during preparation and the downstream explainability of AI-driven decisions using tools, techniques, and the right stakeholder communication. And lastly, it's about ensuring that your AI capability and talent ecosystem is a balance between build and buy. And we've seen that the companies that have scored high in the index have achieved this balance. To sum it up, there's a large opportunity to be had with AI. The estimate that we have is that AI can unlock over $360 billion of value globally for banks, while within India, that number is over $60 billion. And with such a large opportunity and the focus that initiatives like the AI Adoption Index by NASSCOM have, we are very confident that the AI adoption score for the BFSI sector will be much higher in the next time, even probably meeting or beating that of the CPG industry. Because at the end of the day, meeting customer expectation is what drives business results, and that's what BFSI customers expect. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Mr. Gaurav. Ladies and gentlemen, next we bring to you highlights on AI adoption in industrial and automotive sector. Fantastic. And on that fantastic note, ladies and gentlemen, we request Ms. Namita Jain, Practice Lead Digital Transformation Research, NASSCOM, for an expert talk on AI adoption in industrial and automotive sector. Ms. Jain, over to you.
Thank you, Nitika. Industrial and automotive sector comprises 17% of India's GDP today. And this is going to grow up to 25% by FY 2026 when India aims to be a $5 trillion economy. That's a big jump and a big contribution by the sector. The shift towards digital technologies within the industrial and automotive sector became very evident during the pandemic as the sector was badly hit. The sector realized the need for resilient operations. They wanted to change the way they think about employee health and safety, and there was greater focus on taking control of costs. All of these created the importance of digital transformation, working with more standardized data, and therefore imbibing a lot more AI into their decision making. Along with that, Industry 4.0, or rather the continued progress towards Industry 4.0, has also been an inflection point, as organizations are gearing to not only scale readiness in AI, but also some of the other fundamental technologies such as IoT, cloud, RPA, big data, and automation on the shop floor. There's a broad-based acknowledgement within the sector regarding digital transformation and the need for it now. Most of the organizations in the sector have initiated few specific AI use cases and POCs. Most of them are in the shop floor operations area. The focus is to improve shop floor operations in order to minimize costs as well as predict any failures or risks to seamless operations in the future. Majority of the use cases are being deployed along the process lines, keeping in mind predictive maintenance, quality of the final output, and the overall cost of the operations. About 68% of the companies in the survey reported that efficiencies and cost reduction was their primary motive to deploy AI. However, 61% of them also wanted to use AI towards achieving growth objectives, mainly from revenue growth as well as building scalability of operations. AI has primarily been used across three major areas: smart manufacturing and predictive maintenance, improving the quality of end outputs, as well as cost efficiency of the shop floors. But we are also beginning to see momentum towards centralized control towers as manufacturing becomes more and more automated. One of the fundamentals for AI deployment in this sector is data and data availability. And that is where the biggest challenge lies for industrials and automotive. More so for organizations that have continued on legacy processes. Data collection is sporadic. There is inadequate, good quality data, and the data that is collected is often siloed and not connected enough or not integrated enough to be useful towards applying AI models. And that lack of data standardization has been reported as one of the biggest inhibitors to scaling AI in the future. But as organizations shift their focus from operational efficiencies and growth to innovation, they are looking at a lot of these fundamental issues: data standardization, having a proper AI strategy, allocating AI budgets. About 78% of the organizations mentioned that they have some form of formal AI strategy. However, it remains to be a work in progress to integrate this AI strategy with the overall business outcomes in corporate strategy. In FY 2022, India achieved a magnificent feat of about 400 billion US dollars of merchandise exports. A lot of this is being credited to the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives. As more and more momentum builds towards Industry 4.0 adoption, greater acceptance of digital technologies and the value of digital transformation, we hope to see a lot more of AI adoption in the industrials and automotive sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jain. The passion with which you were speaking with and you were communicating, you got every bit of that word in. Thank you so much. And audience members, thank you so very much for being so on point, and you know, your passion for our session is so clearly evident in your comments. So thank you so much yet again. All right, next we bring to you the highlights on AI adoption in CPG and retail. Inviting now Mr. Chandrasekhar Balasubramanian, VP, Head of Data Sciences, Analytics and AI at Capgemini, for an expert talk on AI adoption in CPG and retail. Over to you, Mr. Chandrasekhar.
I'm going to talk about AI maturity in retail, CPG, and e-commerce space in Indian industry. Retail sector in India contributing about 10% to India's GDP shows great promise for future growth. It is expected to touch 1.4 trillion US dollars by year 2024. The industry at present is undergoing significant transformation as a result of changing consumer behavior, a rise of organized retailers, and entry of multiple global players. Changing consumer preferences and rising digitization is accelerating the growth of data-driven retail. For instance, improving visibility across the value chain and availability of purchase data can enable better supply-demand matching, which can shorten operating cycles and reduce working capital investments. AI in retail has the potential to add up to 90 billion US dollars to India's GDP by year 2025 and is fast becoming next frontier for organizational growth. As per the study, the sector score for retail, CPG and e-commerce space in Indian industry is 2.51. Maturity in AI adoption is not widespread across retail, but more experienced companies have an established AI adoption strategy and budget allocation and a focused approach aimed at innovation-led business growth and enhanced care delivery. There are 6 dimensions that contribute to the definition of AI adoption index. The first one being strategy and impact, and the score is 2.59. Around 40% mature AI adopters focus on logistics, warehouse management, sales and marketing. The second dimension being investments, and the score is 2.12. 51% of the overall sector and 50% of the experienced adopters do not have a sustained AI budget allocation strategy. The third dimension is people and operations. The score is 2.26. 46% have integrated their AI project management methodology at the BU level or enterprise level, and almost all experienced adopters have a well-defined PMO at either of these levels. The fourth dimension is data and technology. The sector is transitioning to modernized systems and leveraging cloud infrastructure, improving performance, consistency, and flexibility, which helps retailers to better understand consumers and create exceptional consumer experience. Data standardization has been a key focus in this sector, with almost 60% of the organization having standardized data at the BU or enterprise level. The fifth dimension is knowledge output. The score is 2.18. Majority of the players approach innovation via AI startup incubation, with AI matured organizations transitioning to building in-house AI labs. But there is limited focus on academic research and patent filing in this sector, which requires attention. The last dimension is ethics, governance, and controls, and the score is 2.86. Audits and controls are widely used in this industry to guarantee that AI systems are continually reviewed and improved. However, there is an increasing emphasis on ethical governance in this sector, as consumer trust is a major consideration and there is a thin line in personalization to consumer data privacy. Overall, the summary is industry is in a perpetual state of upheaval and development, contending with rapidly changing customer buying patterns and a shift in focus from the street to the online. There is a constant need to build novel solutions to improve customer experience, catering to their ever-changing need with a huge emphasis on consumer data privacy, which remains as the key area of focus for the future. The sector has expansion, optimization, and innovation at the core of its AI initiatives with undefined or functional level AI strategy. The focus is now on scaling up the overall ongoing efforts, developing a structured PM methodology, transitioning to modern system and data standardization methods. The key takeaways are, in order to improve the adoption of AI in the industry, there is a need for higher allocation of funds, business alignment of AI initiatives for customer satisfaction, standardization of datasets, a need for structured PM methodology, and building solutions from off the shelf. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Chandrasekhar. A big thank you, and ladies and gentlemen, a bigger round of applause for all our expert speakers and their expert talks. Ladies and gentlemen, for our next segment, we have the A-listers of the C-level world here to propagate on AI adoption maturity for India's decade. Let's start off with the man with the toughest task, we believe, our moderator, Mr. Vijay Shankar, leader, automation and artificial intelligence, EY India. Our absolutely elite panelists comprise of Mr. Santosh Bhatt, Head of Advanced Technologies, PolicyBazaar.com, Mr. Jagdish Ramaswamy, President and Chief Digital Officer at Hindalco Industries, Dr. Geeta Manjunath, Founder and CEO of Niramai. Leaders, over to you.
Thank you all for joining in for today's panel discussion. With the launch of the AI Index report, I'm super pleased to host this panel. In partnership with NASSCOM, Ernst & Young has been working towards putting together an AI adoption index, which measures the adoption levels of AI across different sectors, and also help both from a policy maker standpoint as well as company standpoint to look at how AI can really transform and enhance opportunities across. India is being in the forefront in driving this, both from a talent perspective and developing newer solutions. The adoption index kind of brings a lot of these things to light. I really want to get, Geeta, from your perspective, how do you think AI is able to drive or redefine healthcare, just from what you are doing and how you are seeing the market as well?
Sure. Thanks for that question, Vijay. And it's a pleasure to be on this forum of trying to metrify the development of AI in the country and beyond. From my perspective, AI in healthcare can be looked at as making an impact in three different segments. The first one is trying to make the experience seamless, faster, and so on. So one is basically improving the operational excellence in the healthcare, right? Reducing the waiting time, ensuring you meet the right kind of doctor, matching the patient to doctor requirement. That's one part. Second part is trying to make the experience Again, seamless across geographies, the telemedicine, telehealthcare, all of these we are seeing more and more in the COVID time or post-COVID time, can I say this, hopefully. So all of these, that's a second segment. These two segments where AI is impacting is somewhat similar to other domains, how AI is being used in other domains. It could also be online and having apps to do certain things better and so on. The third segment or a category of use cases where AI in healthcare becomes extremely prominent and very different from other use cases is when AI is used for clinical decision support, right? Where it is becoming a very, very smart tool for a doctor to make a diagnosis faster, better, less errors, as in more accurate, and do it across, again, geographies, developing and developed world, or the haves and have-nots and all of that. So the third category will actually be a very profound category where it can transform healthcare to become more affordable, accessible. And the way I see it is like it kind of bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots, right? It could be developing world and developed world, or the rural and the urban ecosystem. So that is what AI has the power to do. And to just give an example where I spent now almost 5 years just looking at this one problem of how AI can help in breast cancer detection. We see AI robots, if you will, or the healthcare workers using this AI software that we have developed, being used in villages to triage people, whether a lady has breast cancer or not, in just 15 minutes. No doctor involved. It can actually figure out who among these 1,000 people need to be brought to a hospital for further care. And this means that you're providing the right time of intervention so that the treatment costs are reduced, the treatment efficacy is more, saving lives and all of that. In the urban ecosystem, the same AI tool can become, yes, a tool to the doctor, and you actually see radiologists and oncologists, having huge amount of patients around them, because there are very few experts again, and all of them coming in from other cities and so on. So how do they spend their quality time in having the best diagnosis? Using this tool, it can be like assistant, which ensures that the key aspects of a lesion, for example, are called out so that the doctor can make this decision faster and make sure that they're not missing small lesions, or because of the hurry of ability to treat many people, there could be some misdiagnosis which can be avoided, as well as because you're giving all the data at one time, you could also look at the chronology of development of the disease, or hopefully improvement in the disease status. And so you also know whether the treatment is making a difference and so on. So I think these three groups of applications definitely makes healthcare become more accessible and affordable, and make it really at home, and also make people live much longer, irrespective of which country they belong to and which city or village. I guess that's how I would like to think about it.
And that's no good. I think you hit upon a point of bridging the gap, right? Have and have not, and trying to bring more healthcare inclusion into everything that happened. And I think India is in that inflection point right now. Santosh, I want to bring the same inclusion topic from a financial services perspective as well. And financial inclusion has been a big topic, especially from an India standpoint. Where do you see AI being used from a BFSI standpoint and financial services standpoint, and what are the areas that it addresses?
First of all, thanks for giving the opportunity for me to be here and speak in the panel. So, see, I mean, inherently, if you see, right, the BFSI world, be it banking, financial services, or insurance, is all data intensive, right? So, think about it like, with the advent of cloud computing, it's becoming more, data is actually now being, basically becoming accessible to lots of teams within the organizations and so on. Now, this has actually led to a whole bunch of, AI initiatives being taken within pretty much every organization, if you will, right? And to a large extent, the fintech startups have also pushed the bigger institutions to kind of start innovating, right? Now let's take some examples, right? Basically, for example, insurance. I'll start with insurance. I am in insurance. So if you think about where AI is disrupting, like pretty much is actually impacting the entire life cycle, if you will, right? So whether it's the customer experience to basically, the operational excellence, right? Like when I'm talking about operational excellence, it's actually talking about also internal employee productivity and so on. And then you have a big area, which is the most important area in the insurance, which is actually your claims management and the risk assessment itself, right? So that's from an insurance perspective. From a lending perspective, now what's happened is, like, basically you've got all these machine learning algorithms which can actually assess a credit worthiness of a person within a few, pretty much almost real time, right? You don't have to wait for ages to kind of get that. That has helped, institutions to take a, sort of decision pretty much, right? So almost instantaneously about a person. So now when it comes to, say, wealth management and so on, I mean, we've heard of, some of these firms which are completely AI driven, which is essentially even the trading that is actually going on. From a wealth management perspective, now these days you have the machine learning algorithms which actually can give you, which can demystify essentially the money that you're investing and what, like, it can help you explore options, right? So yeah, I mean, to a large extent, like, if you think about now, I mean, basically with computing becoming so accessible, I think it is disrupting in a big way. And in the next couple of years, I do see this as a, like, impacting the entire set of, business.
No, fantastic, Santosh. That this is very, very helpful. I think just the disruption that it can cause in the financial services industry is quite interesting. Jagdish, just from your perspective, manufacturing and adoption of technology, overall, and especially from a data standpoint as well, manufacturing companies have kind of pushed the boundaries and also kind of adopting AI as well over the last few years. So how do you see this, and how do you see manufacturing companies in particular driving this digital transformation in the data world?
Thank you, Vijay and NASSCOM for giving the opportunity. Let me just take from where Dr. Geeta and Santosh left, right? And I admire the work that is getting done in the healthcare space. So there's a lot for us to learn, and we are doing exactly that. Health of a body can be compared with health of a plant. So I'll start with that analogy, right? So if you look at manufacturing, the crux of manufacturing industry, the core is how well your manufacturing is running. Of course, customer is very important and employees are very important, two other key pillars. But when we really talk about manufacturing industry like ours, who are asset heavy and heavy on logistics, where there is a lot of movement of material that's happening, the focus on AI and digitalization is more on 4 aspects. One, can I keep my plant running 24/7 without any failure? Second, can I make sure that whatever I produce is of good quality, and if there's going to be an issue in quality, I might know it much ahead of time so that I can take some action. Third, and very important, am I producing everything as per the cost, and can somebody give me an indicator whether I'm overshooting on the cost of production? These are core of operations. The other 2, which is very, very critical and is very closely aligned, is sustainability and safety, employee safety, right? So we can be a great company achieving all the revenues, but if you have a safety incident which makes people unsafe, that is absolutely a no-no. So for us, safety comes right on top in terms of initiative. Second is sustainability in terms of water, energy, emissions, right? So let's focus on this and how AI is being used and how it can be adopted. So first, let's take the first one of availability of plant. Now, can you predict the future likely failure of your critical assets? That's where we are using AI in a big time on how far ahead can I predict some equipment or some process is going to degrade. Rather than watching it degrade and then trying to restore the process, can I use AI to predict
the failures much ahead of time, maybe starting from an hour to 1 day to 1 week. So can I predict something week ahead? And that's where the what you mentioned about availability of data and big data, and models continuously keeping on learning models in AI, it becomes, maybe I hope that the engines will become so smart in the next 2 years that we will be able to predict any failure maybe in a week's time. That also gives the people the ability to do something about it and prevent the failures. So that is one big area of making sure all the issues which can get the plant down in terms of downtime is addressed through AI. That's a big area. The second area is a company like ours, which is intermediary. We are in a B2B, and there's a B2C that actually does the final conversion of what I supply to the end consumer. And I'll give you 2 examples. One, most of you do consume the soft drinks which comes in aluminum can, right? So we supply foils, which then get converted into the can in which the juice is filled and given to you. Just imagine that while they are bottling, there is a hole in the can and the juice starts to squeeze out. And that is attributed to something that was not properly done at Hindalco's end, right? So how do we predict the issues of quality that my consumer, my customer, my B customer is going to face, which will basically make him look bad in front of his consumer, right? So can I predict something in terms of how quality is going to go bad, or how do I increase my conformance, and how do I increase my customer returns? This is another area where AI can be applied across all the manufacturing industries. Can you predict your quality so that you are consistent, you avoid rework, and then you avoid customer returns? The third area is, for us, industry like ours, cost, being on the cost curve, lowest end of cost curve, is very important. Now, so a real-time view of where the consumption is going in terms of energy, in terms of material, in terms of raw material, if you can give a real-time view for decision makers to take decisions and predict that, look, the quality of raw material that has come here today, it looks like if you are going to consume it, your cost is going to go up by 2%. So what can you do about it? So what the AI can then really help me to work on the blending so that I can still keep the cost optimized proactively. So how do you take a input raw material variation? How do you take the variation in the process parameters, including outside temperature, to humidity, for example, between monsoon and, it impacts. All of this is fed to the AI engine to give us predictive nature of how do I maintain my cost. And safety, we use a lot of computer vision to really improve safety awareness. See, all the AI engines will fail if we do not take action. We are not still in a world of autonomous manufacturing, which is, I think, far away. We are still dependent on AI giving indicators and signals to people for taking action. So I'm assuming that we do believe the AI models and start to take action. If you do that, I think there's a huge benefit that you can have in all these areas. And emissions. Environmentally, today, the emission norms are becoming so critical and so stringent. So can you predict and do something so that your emissions are much below the norms, not just comply to the norms, but below the norm? So these are the areas where AI is being big time applied. Lot many years to go for maturity, but eventually you get to a stage where for the plant head, you can predict that, your factory is going to run well for the next 1 week. Everything is in order, just like a health indicator. That's where we are moving. Can I give a health indicator at a plant level, which says, okay, everything is going to be well, or there is going to be some problem? So this is what is a possible opportunity of possibility.
You talked about various use cases. I mean, I'm quite awed by the different use cases that you talked about and in the core areas that has come in, right? But if you really like to kind of, give an advice to, an early adopter in the AI world, in the manufacturing, right? What are the areas or what are the elements that they need to focus on to really unlock value for the use of AI?
Okay, so actually this is a very big topic, so I'll keep it very brief. My advice is, don't try to get AI when the data integrity or quality of data is not good, because you are going to be disappointed. First is really focus on cleaning up your data and having it in a form that you can use to build meaningful AI models. So that's my first advice. All of us make that mistake of, don't take any junk that is lying and start to build an AI model. Number two, absolutely question when you're doing AI, don't get blinded by the data scientists. The domain person has to play a very, very critical role in balancing what the data is showing versus what the knowledge about the process that person, he or she knows, which needs to be brought up. These two, I think I will leave as most important. Third is, once the model is ready, don't look for a perfection to 80% accuracy, 90% accuracy. It's never going to happen. Start at 60% accuracy, start the deployment. If you want to really make use of it, don't wait for a perfect world. There's never going to be a perfect world. Okay. These are my 3 points of advice.
I think it's on the money on this, right? Sometimes what we get lost in this is the accuracy numbers and the efficiency numbers. Even if before we start to try, I go to a lot of clients and then we talk about this. The first question that they ask is, what's the accuracy of the model, right? The accuracy of the model is dependent upon the data that comes in, and if the data is not good enough, accuracy of the model is not going to suddenly change. And then you don't move forward on some of the projects because you think that unless a model is 95% or 80% or whatever number of accuracy, it's not good enough to be applied in a real world scenario, right? So I think it's a great point around getting some of the data right, but not get overly focused on the accuracy, matrices or success. No, so I think this has been a fantastic panel and great insights across various sectors. And as you'd see, the AI adoption index and the report that we've kind of released along with NASSCOM, brings to life the various sectors and how companies need to think through adoption of AI. What are some challenges as well as what are use cases, and what we need to bring it to life. And really we see AI being a significant contributor from an India's GDP as well, and can make impact, especially if sectors like yours adopt it at scale. Healthcare, financial services, manufacturing, a backbone of every industry. From a GDP contribution standpoint, if the adoption of AI increases here, really there's a lot more value to unlock at an economy level. So I'm really happy and pleased to have you all in the session and sharing these insights around. So thank you all for participating in it, and look forward for continuous interactions further on as well. So thank you all.
Thank you very much. It was an excellent session. Thank you.
Thank you to all our wonderful leaders. What a session that was. And ladies and gentlemen, okay, leaders, it was an extensive process of going through over 350 applications. Gruesome task for the jury members. Of course, it was, because such amazing leaders like you, of which 7 presentations across 19 categories made it to the selection panel. An eminent jury panel spending countless number of hours to shortlist the applications basis innovation, impact, and potential to scale, which led us to our game changers. Let us reflect on the entire journey, shall we? So Priya writes in, we'd love to hear your feedback. Oshima Bajaj writes in, 19 categories, 67 applications out of 350 total applications. Yes, Oshima, thank you so very much for pointing out. I mean, again, right, you are all data leaders. Many congratulations and a big thank you to our game changers. You indeed changed the game for the best. Ladies and gentlemen, we take this opportunity to invite Mr. Anand Maheshwari, President of Microsoft India, to share his perspectives on how initiatives like AI Game Changers and AI Adoption Index are strengthening the innovation and adoption throughout the country. Can we have Mr. Maheshwari with us?
Artificial intelligence is all around us today, transforming industries, businesses, societies, and nations. Adopting AI is a strategic advantage that can drive the next decade of growth and innovation for India. Microsoft is proud to partner with NASSCOM for initiatives like the AI Game Changers program and the AI Adoption Index. These initiatives aim to strengthen AI innovation and adoption in the country. The second year of the AI Game Changers saw impactful AI use cases from the grassroots to large enterprises with more than 370 applications from a variety of sectors. This year's entries saw several nominations on using AI for social good and transformation. As we wait to announce the winners of AI Game Changers Edition 2, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to all the AI innovators. We look forward for you to enable meaningful change with AI.
Thank you, Mr. Maheshwari, for that absolutely enthusiastic talk. Thank you so much. Leaders, as we get nearer to our much awaited award ceremony, we want to take you through all the steps that we traversed in order to get our amazing winners, for which we'd like to invite Mr. Vijay Shankar, Leader Automation and Artificial Intelligence, EY India. Mr. Shankar, over to you.
EY has partnered with NASSCOM on various AI for India initiatives to shape India's opportunity to become a significant player in the AI world. More recently, we've developed a first-of-a-kind AI index to track and measure AI adoption in India. EY is pleased to sponsor the AI Game Changer Awards, an important initiative to recognize innovators who are making significant contribution to the AI for India mission. Their innovations are creating impact across technology, social, talent, and business operations overall. Being a part of the selection panel, I've had an opportunity to interact personally with the innovators, understand their solution, experience their passion for AI, and how their solutions are creating meaningful impact for India. My heartiest congratulations to all the participants and the winners of the AI Game Changer Awards 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Shankar. Your valuable time means a lot, and could not agree more with Diti Joshi, who writes in extremely engaging and informative session. Thank you once again. And Swathi, who writes an informative session. Thank you so much. I will see these comments and kind words get us going, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's now time to meet the leaders, whom we deeply thank for giving their valuable time to evaluate the applications on parameters like problem statement, innovation, impact, and skill. Let's hear it from our selection panel as they share the journey on evaluating use cases. On the presentation round of AI Game Changers, over to you, selection panelists.
The NASSCOM AI Game Changers platform is a fantastic space to get together innovations from across the country, solving real-world problems. This year, there were applications for across industries, and I had the privilege of being part of the selection panel for the retail and CPG space.
It was an absolute delight to be invited to be a part of the jury of the AI Game Changer Awards. I got a chance to see diverse, innovative, out-of-the-box solutions that these participants had showcased across various industries.
It was my honor to be part of the panel to experience the top products and solutions in the field of artificial intelligence through computer vision.
I want to thank the NASSCOM team for giving me this opportunity of being part of the AI Game Changers. It was a really surprising, a pleasant surprise for me to see what all is happening in this country, specifically the sections we had on agriculture, the environment, the healthcare areas, in terms of what we are bringing out in terms of healthcare. It has really made the country very, very innovative in what we're trying to do. I want to congratulate NASSCOM for initiating such kind of opportunities for people to come and share, and wish them all the best. And I also want to wish all the participants all the best and to continue to do innovative things like this. Thank you so much.
I would like to thank NASSCOM for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the selection panel for the AI Game Changers Awards. This is an excellent opportunity for showcasing cutting-edge, impactful AI solutions which are developed in India by both business organizations as well as government organizations. I would like to congratulate all the nominees for coming this far in the journey. With the passion that you bring for AI makes each one of you already a game changer.
The reason I was really excited to be on the panel of AI Game Changers is because it was about listening to innovative companies who are solving AI for real business problems. My Hearty congratulations to all the participants, and I really wish you all the best. Thank you for using AI such that it works for humankind.
Such that it works for humankind. My God, spoken straight from the heart. A big thank you to our selection panel. You all are amazing, and I could not agree more with Chandrasekhar ji, who writes an excellent session. There's Mr. Avinash, who's given his LinkedIn profile. Please connect. Mr. Sanket writes in, looking forward to the results of the very prestigious NASCOM AI Game Changers. Exactly. Absolutely. That is, Mr. Sanket, we're getting to that. Mr. Roy writes, thank you, NASCOM, for the honor. Okay, it was an absolute pleasure to have the prestigious IIT Madras as our academic partner. Let's hear it from them. Fantastic. All right, leaders, from process understanding, selection panel presentation rounds, on to our warriors, which is what Mr. Sanket is talking about. Absolutely excited to know the warriors who battle hard and mighty. Let's meet our passionate participants. Over to you, participants.
I am Prapti Jaiswal, co-founder and CEO of Arogya AI. We built this company to provide precision diagnosis for antimicrobial resistance. We're excited to be associated and presenting at NASCOM's AI Game Changers, which gave us an opportunity to showcase our solution to an esteemed panel at the presentation round.
I'm Gaurav Iyer. I am EXL's head of AI and cloud solutions. I just came out of the presentation round of NASCOM's AI Game Changers program. It was a really, exciting event, and we presented two of our solutions, Extractor.ai and EXL Pay Mentor.
Hi, this is Shamantak Gautam. I'm the co-founder and CTO. So we are a AI assisted product for trading and research of the stock market as well as crypto and forex data. Perfect platform for amplifying your message, your product.
Hello, my name is Piyush Kumar. I'm a researcher at Microsoft. I appreciate the chance to participate in the NASCOM AI Game Changers program, as it helps to bring this work for the benefit of the growing ecosystem of data-driven decision-making in India.
Hi, this is Praneeth from Fractal. I'm here in the AI NASCOM Game Changers program to present a revenue growth management use case. Revenue growth management is about driving pricing, promotion, and product assortment related changes for a big consumer goods company.
This is Kaushik, Director Cogets. Cogets is a company which believes in coming up with innovative and futuristic tech-based solution for real-world problems. And AI Game Changer 2022 organized by NASCOM will be like a launchpad for AI startup like us to be on the global and India AI roadmap.
Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Patre. I am the CEO for Doctrinal, and Doctrinal provides solutions for infectious and non-infectious lung-based ailments, leveraging AI and machine learning.
Passionate participants indeed. I mean, we could sense their passion through our screens, and I'm sure everybody agrees and resonates with that. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, every soldier's goal is to give it all, to ensure their battalion wins the war, and post-war, the army then comes together to reward the high achievers, the top performers, and the warriors. And we at NASCOM are no different. They celebrate those who battled the extra mile, the moment we've all been waiting for from 11. We get it. It's now. The moment has come. We'd like to invite our steering committee members to give away the awards, starting with Dr. Rohini Srivatsa, National Technology Officer, Microsoft India. Over to you, ma'am.
Microsoft is proud to partner with NASCOM for the AI Game Changers program that seeks to strengthen AI innovation and adoption in the country.
Our nominees in category BFSI are eClerk Services Limited for AI for KYC AML screening in eClerk's Compliance Manager, EXL for Certificate of Insurance Generation using AI, ResearchFin.ai for research insights for trading, EXL for improving the economics of debt collection by leveraging AI, technology, and data. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the banking and financial services and insurance industry, eClerx Services Limited. Use case is AI for KYC and AML screening in eClerx Compliance Manager.
Absolutely. Many congratulations, Team eClerx. And we'd like to call on stage Ms. Ashwini Bhole, Associate Principal, Head of Product Development for Financial Markets, eClerx. Over to you, Ms. Bhole.
At NASCOM AI Game Changer, we have showcased use of AI/ML in KYC screening for anti-money laundering to assess the risk associated with the entity. The solution uses cutting-edge techniques in deep learning, NLP, and computer vision to extract information from unstructured data and to check materiality of the news article. The solution reduced TAT by 75% and generates savings of $3 to $5 million for each of our large investment bank clients.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category Retail and CPG are Tango IT Solutions India Private Limited for Shopper Insights for improved sales conversion. Absolute Data Research and Analytics Solutions Private Limited, an Infogain company, for planogram compliance enablement with artificial eyes and AI. Fractal Analytics for next-gen revenue management. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the retail and CPG industry, Tango IT Solutions India Private Limited. The use case is Shopper Insights for improved sales conversion.
Absolutely amazing. And we'd also like to mention our leaders in the chat box. I mean, the comments are flowing in. We've got Oshima, Swathi, and Manoj writing in congratulations, eClerx. See, this is how you keep the momentum going, because they are well aware that once they win the award, how good it will feel to read these beautiful comments. Thank you so very much. Let the comments flow. And on that note, we'd like to call in our next winner, Mr. Surendra Gaundar, the founder and CEO, Tango AI. Over to you, Mr. Gaundar.
Tango is a plug-and-play in-store SaaS product that works with existing cameras to help track footfalls, demographics, and profile customers in their customer shopping journey, with a focus to increase in-store sales conversions, reduce bounce rates, and improve the retargeting of missed opportunities from in-store customers that walk in.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category cybersecurity are Sectrio for AI-based adaptive threat intelligence solution, Bosch Global Software Technologies Private Limited for Bosch AI Shield for securing AI systems. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In cybersecurity, the winner is Sectrio for the use case AI-based adaptive threat intelligence solution.
Fantastic. And I can't seem to catch up with our lovely comments. So I'm just going to wrap very quickly. There is Kannabir who writes in congratulations, Srinath writing congratulations, Amog writing in congratulations. My God. Okay. So we'd like to call on our next winner, Mr. Prayukt KV, Head of Marketing from Sectrio. Mr. Prayukt, over to you.
The uniqueness of the solution lies in the way in which it has been able to protect over 250,000 devices in a very short period of time. And the outcomes have been truly remarkable and incredible because we have not had a single instance of a successful cyber attack thus far. And we continue to grow, not just in terms of the devices, but also the complexity of devices we're securing and also the number of deployments that we are covering globally.
Congratulations to the winners.
Huge congratulations to all the winners. We look forward to you driving meaningful change with AI.
Huge congratulations to our winners is exactly what Dr. Srivatsa was talking about. Fantastic. And now, Kannabir writing, we look forward to collaborate with you winners. Manjuji writing, congratulations, Sectrio. Many congratulations. Moving on to our next steering committee member, we'd like to call on stage Ms. Leena Valvalkar, Global Head TCS Space. Leena ma'am, over to you.
I'm happy to announce the winners of the AI Game Changers program in 3 categories.
Our nominees in category Transport and Logistics are Chauk Technologies Private Limited, trading as CarScan for insurance, sellers, fleets, rentals, OEMs, and repairers. WNS for WNS Malcolm Freight Automation Platform. Maersk Technology Center for Free Time Extension Revenue Optimization Tool. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In transportation and logistics, the winner is CarScan for their use case creating intelligent technologies to disrupt the automotive industry.
And calling on stage Mr. Obines Chaudhary, the CEO and co-founder of CarScan. Mr. Chaudhary, over to you. Many congratulations.
At CarScan, we are enabling vehicle owners to create an accurate and tamper vehicle health condition utilizing AI and AR capabilities in less than a minute.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category Agriculture are Cropping Technology Solutions for Geospatial AI for Monitoring Food Security. Praman AI powered by Intello Labs for post-harvest quality assaying of cardamom to enable digital trading. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In agriculture, the winner is Praman AI, Intello Labs for the use case post-harvest quality assaying of cardamom to enable digital trading.
Of course, a big congratulations, and we'd like to call on stage Mrs. Saurabh Saxena, the CEO of Praman AI. Murli Riji writes in hearty congratulations to all the winners. Oshima writes in congrats CarScan and Sectrio. On that note,
with the launch of the Praman Exchange, which makes quality of the cardamom accessible to buyers in a purely digital manner, we've been able to streamline and automate quality assessment and sorting grading of the produce. And it has created an equitable and symmetric trading market between buyers and sellers.
Congratulations to the winners.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you so very much, Leena ma'am. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next leader at the steering committee. We have with us Mr. Abhishek Singh, President and CEO, NEGD. Mr. Singh, over to you.
India is increasingly being seen as a prominent hub for research, home to startups, and companies working in the domain of emerging technologies. And in the last few years, many Indian companies and startups have made their mark in the field of artificial intelligence. Given the global focus on emerging technologies, which are driving the digital transformation, the AI Game Changers program of NASSCOM is a great initiative to encourage AI adoption in India.
Our nominees in category Education are SmartTail Private Limited for AI grading of handwritten descriptive responses. COG EDS for AI speech interview coach. Prep AI for AI-powered question answer generator tool. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
For the use case of AI grading of handwritten descriptive responses, SmartTail Private Limited.
As Mr. Singh rightly said, of course it is, without doubt, SmartTail Private Limited. And we'd like to call on stage Mr. Swaminathan Ganesan, the co-founder and CEO of SmartTail. Mr. Ganesan, many congratulations.
Our vision is to deliver decision science for the education community. Our flagship product, DeepGrade, grades the handwritten descriptive answers of students. We are in about 80 schools right now and ever growing. This deep tech product has been co-created with the educators and validated by them.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category AI for Next Billion are EasyRx Health Tech Private Limited for EasyCheck non-invasive screening device. Theo.ai for Voice First Vernacular Conversational AI job platform. Logi.ai Next FitZap Private Limited for AI-based oral health screening. L&T Technology Services for Chest R AI. Arogya AI Innovations Private Limited for Arogya AI. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the category for AI for Next Billion, the winner is EasyRx Health Tech Private Limited for the use case EasyCheck non-invasive screening device.
We couldn't agree more. Many congratulations, Mr. Partha Das Mahapatra, founder and CEO of EasyRx Health Tech Private Limited. Mr. Das, over to you. Many congratulations.
In India, 2 out of 3 women are anemic, and today, 1 out of every 10 adults having liver, kidney, lungs, and the diabetic issues. Focusing on all these issues, EasyRx developed a biomedical device called EasyCheck, which is a non-invasive portable device which can detect anemia and predict liver, kidney, lungs, and the diabetes issues within less than 1 minute and without taking a single drop of blood from the human body.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category Healthcare and Life Sciences are Data Foundry for DF Safety AI Automated and AI-powered Safety Platform, InMed Prognostics Private Limited for volumetric analysis of brain MRI, GenPro Research for Woody, automating scientific literature generation using NLP, Persistent Systems Limited for advancing healthcare modules by combining federated learning and semi-supervised learning. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the category of healthcare and life sciences, the winner is Data Foundry for the use case DF Safety AI automated solution for ensuring safer medicines.
Before we get on inviting our winner, we've got Hanisha who writes congratulations to our winners. Hanisha, you're super encouraging. Mohammed ji writes greetings, congrats to winners. Neha, Bharti, Oshima, everybody congratulates our winners. Fantastic. Thank you so much. See, you are the generous leaders. Thank you so much. As and when I've seen that whenever is it that I mention, there's somebody who writes in the comment. Priyanka ji writes in super excited. Fantastic. And on that note, let's call on stage Mr. Narsimha Kumar, Chief Product and Commercial Officer, Data Foundry. Mr. Kumar, many congratulations. Over to you.
Global health trends indicate a great need for automation of manual processes to help improve the safety of medicines in the market. DF Safety AI is an AI-powered drug safety solution that delivers process automation and analytics. It reduces human effort by 60%, ensures 100% compliance to submission timelines, and has an accuracy rating for the ML models at 99.6%.
Congratulations to the winners.
Many congratulations to all the winners.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir, with your blessed hands is how all our winners got our awards. Moving on to our leader, our next leader to give away the awards from the steering committee, we have Professor Rishikesha Krishnan, Director IIM Bangalore. Professor Krishnan, over to you.
I'm delighted to hear that NASSCOM has launched the Game Changers initiative again this year. The adoption of artificial intelligence is critical to Indian industry, and an initiative like this, which identifies the pioneers in AI adoption, is critical at this point of time. So congratulations to NASSCOM for sustaining and building on the AI Game Changers initiative.
Our nominees in category AI application are AIRA Matrix Private Limited for a deep learning system for prostate cancer diagnosis and grading in whole slide images of core needle biopsies. Piyush Kumar, Microsoft for microclimate prediction, multi-scale encoder-decoder based deep learning framework. Tahir Javed, IIT Madras for building ASR systems for the next billion users. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the AI application category, the winner is ERA Matrix Private Limited. The use case ERA has pioneered is a deep learning system for prostate cancer diagnosis and grading in whole slide images of core needle biopsies. Congratulations to ERA Matrix Private Limited.
Congratulations to ERA Matrix. You've got Priyanka, Chris. Chris, firstly, I can't get over the fact that you've gotten up at 6:30. I don't know what it is. I think after my board exams, the 10th and 12th, I've never really gotten up so early. So you have absolutely charmed me because of that. We've got Chiranjeevi, Bharti, Riyanka, Priyanka writing in. Many congratulations to our winners. And on that note, we'd like to call on Mr. Chait Kondragunta, the CEO of IRA Matrix Private Limited.
Prostate cancer is the second most frequent cancer among men And one of the biggest problems is the inter-observer variability in staging and grading the disease. Our solution provides accuracy, repeatability, and consistency, and provides physicians the foundation to plan for the requisite therapy for each individual patient.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category DL Algorithms and Architecture are Joseph KJ, IIT Hyderabad, Google Research, for incremental object detection via meta-learning towards open-world object detection. Vineet N. Balasubramanian, IIT Hyderabad, for GradCam++, generalized gradient-based visual explanations for deep convolution networks. Mahesh Paypal, for DeepGrass, graph, sequence, and scaled embeddings on large-scale transactions data. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the DL Algorithms and Architecture category, the winner is IIT Hyderabad. IIT Hyderabad's use case is incremental object detection via meta-learning towards open world object definition.
Many congratulations. We've got Priyanka, Alisha, Chris, Chiranjeev writing in congratulations to our winners. Thank you so very much. What energy all of you have. And on that energetic note, let's call on stage Mr. Joseph KJ, PhD student, IIT Hyderabad. Many congratulations, Mr. Joseph. Over to you.
It is very easy for us to identify an instance in our environment that we are not familiar with as an unknown. Whenever we know more about these identified unknowns, we can assimilate this information incrementally without degrading our earlier knowledge. Though this use case is seemingly obvious, current deep learning models can neither identify novel instances nor can learn incrementally without forgetting. My research focuses to bridge this gap, which would make AI more pragmatic.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category ML Fundamentals are Vihari Pirakla, IIT Bombay, for active assessment of prediction services as accuracy service over attribute combinations. Adirupa Saha, Microsoft Research, for adversarial dueling bandits. Vinay Gupta, IIT Delhi, for learning temporal point processes for efficient retrieval of continuous time event sequences. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the ML Fundamentals category, the winner is IIT Bombay. Their use case is an active assessment of prediction services as accuracy surface over attribute combinations.
Senthilji, Chiranjeev, Manjuji, and Mr. Chiranjeev again, right? And congratulations to our winners. See, we'd always want to prefix our beautiful comments by our audience members. Before we call in our winners, Vihari, I'm sure Vihari Piratla is super excited to be on stage with us. So the winner is Miss Vihari Piratla, PhD student, IIT Bombay. Vihari ji, over to you.
We are so used to comparing products in the marketplace and buying the product that best fits us. But do we know how to compare two machine learning services? Do you know which of OK Google or Apple Siri best understands you? With ever increasing number of machine learning services entering the market, the need to compare between them is inevitable.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category High Potential are BrainSight AI, for precision psychiatry enabling objective, accurate neurological insights. Docternal, for non-invasive screening of infectious pulmonary ailments. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In the high potential category, congratulations to BrainSight AI. Their use case is precision psychiatry enabling objective, accurate neurological insights.
Could not agree more with Mr. Anup and Hanisha. They write in awesome use cases. Love the innovation here. Chiranjeev again writes in congratulations, Vihari. Many congratulations, Vihari. And now we would like to call in our winner of the high potential nominees. The winner is Lina Emanuel, CEO and co-founder at Brainsight AI. Over to you.
At Brainsight, we are building the 3D digital twin of the brain and enabling clinicians to access this through a one-click platform, VoxelBox. This has implications for neurosurgery, neurology, and psychiatry, where it can help doctors to better diagnose, manage, and treat the conditions of their patients better.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category manufacturing are Uptime AI for AI-based virtual expert for machine operations and maintenance. Hindalco Industries Limited for predictive asset maintenance using machine learning. Knowledge Lens Private Limited for digital twin-based AI model to predict and maximize process yield and optimize asset efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
In manufacturing, congratulations to Uptime AI. Their use case is AI-based virtual expert for machine operations and maintenance.
Not agree more. We've got Gitanjali who writes in congrats, precision medicine and psychiatry is very much needed. Chris writes in brilliant, well done. Kaushik writes in congratulations, Lina, Brainsight AI. And while we congratulate our previous winners, calling on our winner of this particular brilliant award is Mr. Jagdish Gattu, co-founder and CEO of Uptime AI. Mr. Gattu, many congratulations. Over to you.
At Uptime AI, we empower operators in the manufacturing industries to minimize failures and maximize energy efficiency faster with less effort. We're the first AI-based virtual expert that learns and solves problems in manufacturing industries like a human subject matter expert.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category Business Intelligence are Tensai Systems Private Limited for AI-based procurement planning and funding solution for a major commodity trading firm. Accenture Solutions Private Limited for B2B artificial intelligent revenue growth engine patented as digital content privatization to accelerate hyper-targeting in February 2021. Click to Cloud for automated historical, real-time, and predictive analytics in healthcare and agriculture industry. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
For business intelligence, congratulations to Tensai Systems Private Limited. Their use case is AI-based procurement, planning, and funding solution for a major commodity trading firm.
Man, I'm honestly getting a little parched from giving back-to-back awards with this glass of water. Always helps. What leaders are you? I mean, absolutely astounding, the sheer number of participants, the sheer number of awards that are going in. Fantastic, fantastic. Oshima writes in congrats Tensai. Arun writes in congrats winners, and congratulating the winners of this particular brilliant award. We'd like to call on stage Mr. Senthil Nathan, co-founder Tensai AI. Mr. Senthil, over to you. Many congratulations.
Procurement inefficiencies are costing commodity trading firms billions of dollars every year. We developed an AI solution to help them streamline decisions and automate the entire procurement process.
Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to our winners. Thank you so very much, sir. You've been an absolute pleasure to have. And now we'd like to call in our next leader from the steering committee, Mr. Srikanth Velamakani, co-founder of Group Chief Executive and Vice Chairman of Fractal Analytics. Sir, Mr. Srikanth, over to you.
We at NASSCOM have designed the AI Game Changers program to encourage and recognize those startups and big companies that are producing breakthrough results with AI, especially from India.
Our nominees in category Computer Vision are Quidditch Innovation Labs for Quidditch Tracker Real-Time Player Tracking for Cricket. ShopSense Retail Technologies Limited, Find for Erase.bg, Remove Background from Images. EdgeVerve Systems Limited, an Infosys company, for unparalleled accuracy delivers stellar business outcomes, $20 billion savings and 60% productivity boost for a large US-based telecommunications company. Aviros Evidence Systems Private Limited for video AI operating system and marketplace. Wellspun India Limited for tile counting and defect detection using AI ML based vision system. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
The award for computer vision goes to Quidditch Innovation Labs for the use case of Quidditch Tracker, a real-time player tracking system for cricket.
Fantastic, Oshima writes in great use case. Exactly, Oshima, right? I mean, right from the very start, whether we've got a nominees or a winners, what brilliant use cases are these? Absolutely impressed. And on that impressive note, we call in our winner, Mr. Rahat Kulshrestha, the CEO and co-founder of Quidditch. Mr. Rahat, over to you. Many congratulations.
Quidditch Tracker, or QT, is Quidditch's new proprietary technology. We put a camera up on the field that uses artificial intelligence and computer vision to be able to track each player and display a field plot on your screen that shows you exactly where players are moving. QT has been used on some of the most popular cricket games in the last 1 year, from the recent IPL in 2022 to the Caribbean Premier League, the World Test Championship.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category Network Science are CrediWatch Information Analytics Private Limited for AI-powered insights for lenders and businesses. EasyGov Surajya Services Limited for identifying errors of inclusion-exclusion in social protection. PayPal for fair credit underwriting using graph embeddings. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
The award for network science goes to CrediWatch Information Analytics Private Limited for their AI-powered insights for lenders and businesses.
Completely agree. We'd like to call on stage our winner, Ms. Meghna Surya Kumar, founder and CEO of CrediWatch. Ms. Meghna, over to you. Many congratulations.
Hi, CrediWatch provides AI-powered insights to lenders and businesses for effective decision-making. Our products power the entire life cycle of credit management for leading financial institutions, including credit assessment and post-dispersal monitoring. In fact, the CrediWatch EWS system monitors over 1.65 lakh crore worth of loan portfolio, constituting to about 20,000 businesses every month.
Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the next category. Our nominees in category AI Ops are VooNet Systems Private Limited for domain-specific AI ML platform to provide a superior transaction experience every time. FN for AI-driven automated operational data warehouse ODW server monitoring. GAVS Technologies for root cause analysis use case. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is...
The award for AI Ops goes to VooNet Systems Private Limited for the use case of domain-specific AI ML platform to provide a superior transaction experience for every time.
Anisha ji writes in, honor to have EasyGov as a finalist for the Game Changers Award. Congrats to CrediWatch for the win. My God, Anisha, we've been keeping track. You are so encouraging right from the very start. Couple of names, Anisha, Oshima, Mr. Muhammad. We've got Neha Tiwari. Wow, fantastic, lovely audience members. And on that note, we call on our winner, Mr. Ashwin Ramachandran, the co-founder and CEO of VooNet Systems. Mr. Ramachandran, you are the last winner. Many congratulations, and over to you.
We at VooNet have an AI-led business observability platform that helps large financial institutions and fintechs provide a real-time superior user experience and in helping them build a high-performance application infrastructure.
Congratulations to the winners.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Very much a big round of applause to all our winners and a bigger round of applause for our steering committee members. What an exceptional job all of you have done. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to announce the runners-up comprising of diverse use cases who are creating an impact with their innovative AI solutions. Congratulations to the challengers and the innovators. You have made us proud. Over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you our challengers. Cropin Technology Solutions. Piyush Kumar, Microsoft. Tahir Javed, IIT Madras. Dhio.ai. FL, EXL, Accenture Solutions Private Limited, ShopSense Retail Technologies Limited, Find, Vineet N. Balasubramanian, IIT Hyderabad, Mahesh PayPal, COG EDS, InMed Prognostics Private Limited, Docternal, Hindalco Industries Limited, Adirupa Saha Microsoft Research, Vinayak Gupta IIT Delhi, Absolute Data Research and Analytics Solutions Private Limited and Infogain Company. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you our innovators. Wellspun India Limited, Bosch Global Software Technologies Private Limited, Fractal Analytics, Logi.ai, ResearchFin.ai, Arogya AI Innovations Private Limited, Aviros Avidid Systems Private Limited, Click2Cloud, EasyGov Surajya Services Limited, EdgeVerve Systems Limited and Infosys Company, EXL, GAVS Technologies, GenPro Research, Knowledge Lens Private Limited, L&T Technology Services, MERS Technology Center, Persistent Systems Limited, Prep AI, WNS. Ladies and gentlemen, NASSCOM is truly thrilled to give away the recognition. Firstly, many congratulations to our brilliant, absolutely brilliant, our runner-up. You've made us so very proud. And now, NASSCOM is truly thrilled to give away the recognition of exemplars to the solutions that have shown scale and impact, starting with Tamil Nadu E-Governance Agency use case pest and disease detection using the AI delivered through Uzhavan mobile application, a unified mobile app for Tamil Nadu farmer. Second, Central Electricity Regulatory Commission use case AI-based regulatory expert system tool, REST. And the third, of course, is Electronic Services Delivery, ESD, IT, EMC, Department, Government of Telangana and Transport Department, Government of Telangana, Friendly Electronic Services in Transport Department, FEST. Let's hear it from our exemplars.
Today, 44% of Indian population rely on agri-income. Increasing cultivation costs and wafer-thin margins add stress to farmers. The pesticide sellers is a go-to person for all their farming problems. They oversell their product, causing soil damage and evaporating their margins. Department of Agriculture Tamil Nadu and TNEGA is working on emerging agrotech solution to find out the remedial measures. Pest detection using AI has a profound impact. The timely and accurate diagnosis of this pesticide have an important role for higher yield for the crops. We have developed a computer vision model and integrated with Uravan app. Using the Uravan app, farmers take a photo of their affected crop and submit. The AI will detect the disease or pest and the remedial measures are sent via SMS.
It is my pleasure and privilege to participate in NASSCOM AI Game Changer Award 2022, in which we present our use case called AI-based regulatory expert system tool, REST. The tool is extensively used by staff and officers of CERC, and it may serve as one-stop solution to other regulatory bodies after customization.
In collaboration with Transport Department, a project called Friendly Electronic Services in Transport Department was rolled out in July 2020. Through this, a Telangana citizen can avail about 17 services of the Transport Department through a smartphone in a presenceless and contactless manner, anytime, anywhere, 24/7 by 365.
Fantastic. Many congratulations to our exemplars. You, as the name suggests, are absolutely exemplary with everything that you do. What an honor to have each one of you with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to call back Mr. Anand Maheshwari, President of Microsoft India, to share his perspectives on the winners of the AI Game Changers. Mr. Anand, over to you.
It was amazing to see such compelling and innovative use cases of AI across so many sectors. I'm truly blown away by the scale, ambition, and differentiated thinking of each of the AI innovators. A huge congratulations to all the winners and a big thank you to everyone who participated this year. I look forward to the release of the AI Game Changers Compendium to celebrate the best of India's AI innovations. As I said earlier, each of you are at the center of driving this transformation. We look forward for you to enable meaningful change with AI.
We look forward to seeing you make meaningful changes, and we are sure that you will. Thank you so very much, Mr. Maheshwari. What a pleasure to have you with us. Okay, leaders, from awarding the champions to now launching the state-of-the-art AI Game Changers Compendium this evening, this afternoon, wherever is it that you're from, morning keeps getting better and better and better. And to make it even better, we call back the amazing Ms. Devjani Ghosh, President NASSCOM, for launching the AI Game Changers Compendium. Ma'am, over to you.
Congratulations to every single winner, and we look forward to seeing your AI use case scale for enterprise as well as for societal benefits. I'm truly delighted to release the AI Game Changers Compendium that showcases 55 use cases of impactful AI innovation across 19 diverse categories. The nominations that we've received for AI research is just a great representation of the innovation that's happening by individuals and by enterprise. The academia and social entries demonstrate the strong potential and impact of AI for benefit of society. AI for the Next Billion nominations from enterprise and startups demonstrated such an encouraging high focus on accessibility quotients across so many use cases. This compendium will give you a very exciting peek into some of India's best AI success stories. Storytelling is so important to build a narrative, and it is so important to build the narrative of India's AI journey. And the AI Game Changers Compendium is a small effort on our part to showcase the innovation and the interesting use cases of AI in the country and the way the journey continues to evolve. I hope all of you will enjoy reading the use cases as much as we have enjoyed putting it together. Do share your feedback. It helps us tremendously to continuously make it better. And till the next time, happy reading on behalf of Team NASSCOM. Thank you.
Let's have the launch. Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Ms. Ghosh, for the state-of-the-art launch. I mean, a state-of-the-art leader only launches state-of-the-art anything, right? Leaders, we request you to kindly fill in the survey form, the link to which is, of course, pinned on the top of your chat boxes. It's just a small little link which you need to click. Let us know how much you absolutely love today's session. Okay, so we at NASSCOM are honored and proud to have the absolute industry best be a part of this historic event. And to let you know how much honored we are, we have Ms. Sangeeta Gupta, Senior Vice President, NASSCOM, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you. Over to you, Sangeeta.
Thank you so much, Nikita, and what a wonderful 2.5 hours this has been. From recognizing the winners of all the different categories of AI game changers, the innovators, the exemplars, and the challengers, from the adoption index matrices across the different sectors. It's truly been a pleasure and honor to have all of your participation for this event. I'd just like to close by saying thank you to all the teams that have helped put this entire event together, our ecosystem partners, our steering committees, our selection committees, the team at NASSCOM that has worked tirelessly to put together the entire event, and of course, all the speakers who graced the event today. Thank you so much for your participation. Both the AI Compendium and the Adoption Index is available on the NASSCOM website and the NASSCOM community website. And we'd really urge you to go through these stories, go through the report, go through the matrices, and see what AI really means for each of you. So happy reading, enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you so much for your super engaging participation.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of NASSCOM Presents AI Parley. How time flies when you're enjoying yourself. Like Sangeeta ma'am rightly mentioned, like 2.5 hours, didn't even know. How is it that it started and it's almost the end? My God. A big thank you to Microsoft, Capgemini, EXL, EY, IIT Madras, and a bigger thank you to our electrifying sponsors, our powerful leaders in charge of audience. Until next time, you've been an absolutely lovely audience. Mr. Sanket writes in, looks like you are on mute. Mr. Sanket, I got that rectified. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Until next time, thank you so much. Namaste. Have a great day.